All right. Rich, Joan. Hey guys, I am here with Joan and Rich, who wrote this awesome book, 3D Printed Science Projects. Joan, can you tell me about the book?
Yeah, so as far as we know, it's the first book where you can actually vary some models based on the physics or the botany or the biology, so that if you have a kid who has a 3D printer and wants to do a science fair project, they can run with it and do that.
Oh, that's a great idea. So, Rich, tell me more about the models in the book. How did you go about creating those models for examples?
So the models are all written in OpenSCAD, which I use for everything, and you can vary the variables in the models to create different forms of things. Like I believe so this is a flower. This model can actually create many kinds of plants just by varying the variables so that you can create different shapes. And this is a wing that. So this is designed to be put in front of a fan. You put some coins or something here to give it some weight. Then you zero the scale. You turn a fan on, and it lifts, so it gets lighter.
That's so cool.
And they're using real NACA wing profiles. You can use any wing profile with a NACA 4-digit. You can use this mechanism to vary the angle of attack and see how much it lifts.
Wow, and so you said you used OpenSCAD, so everything here is parametric. You just change the parameters and get a new model?
Yes.
That's so cool. All right. Oh, Joan, what do you got in your hands?
So what I have here is one of the models is orbits in the solar system or any solar system. So this is Earth, Venus, and Mercury, and the height of the orbit is how fast the planet is going in its orbit. So this is all to scale. So Mercury is going really fast. And Mercury's orbit is a little longer and skinnier. It's not really round. And so it's going a little bit faster on this end near the sun and a little bit slower where it's farther away.
That's a really interesting way to represent a planetary orbit, especially with the speed and how far away it could be from the sun. Did you design this model?
Yeah, so we designed this model. I'm a recovering rocket scientist. I worked at that for a long time, and we were at a 3D printer company for a while, and we got together about a year and a half ago and started our company to try to teach people to use 3D printers and think about how do I use 3D printers to teach science really, because every book has kind of the same 2D projection, and when you actually go into the third dimension, we say it was like 2 postdocs per model. You had to go and get people to talk to and understand, how this would really work in 3D. And so every chapter has a section called Learning Like a Maker, which is how we had to think about that third dimension and what you should think about when you use these to teach.
That's what I really love, that you're using this third dimension, right? Another axis of information is going to provide so much more of a learning experience. Okay, so Rich, final question for you. In the book, of all the models that you're giving examples of, what is your favorite?
I think I think the orbits are probably my favorite. We have one model that is the orbit of Halley's Comet, and it looks like a shoehorn. It gets really, really high when it's close to the sun, and then it goes out and gets to almost nothing.
So then a follow-up question, what's your favorite planet?
Well, I can only live on this one, so for now, Earth.
I understand. Okay. Joan, last question for you. What is your favorite model in the book?
I think my favorite model is the airfoil, just because it's a lot of fun to think about what Wilbur and Orville Wright would have done if they'd had a 3D printer.
That's a great answer, and it makes sense, right? They were a bunch of makers.
They were hackers, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you guys. I'm looking forward to getting this book. I have 3 kids myself, and so I'm finding ways to engage them in more sciences and using 3D printing, and so this is right up my alley. Thank you so much. And what I do when I end my interviews is I end with a high five. There it is. Thank you very much, guys.